Hello, all you Gary Bears around the world, and welcome to another edition of the Gary Bear Review. Today, we actually get to go back in time to a place where things made more sense, I guess you could say. Back in 1979, a man by the name of Stephen Hawking started to get his degrees. He started doing record-breaking research in the science community. And in case you didn't know by that really shitty intro, we're going over theory of everything. And again, I cannot stress this enough. Most of these movies that we're going over, I really hope that they get nominated, especially this one and the previous one that we did before. Um, I just really hope that some of these actually get nominated for the Oscars in a couple, was it months now or weeks, something like that. Um, so yeah, Theory of Everything is the story of Stephen Hawking, the life of Stephen Hawking, basically from his days in Cambridge all the way up to now, I guess you could say. But they don't really go like so far in the future. They don't go like I don't think past 2010. I want to say maybe, or maybe even earlier than that. It was actually a very interesting story to see because the thing is, this is basically it's not a documentary per se, but it, it was filled with emotion. It was filled with gratitude. It was filled with just a lot to take in, and I mean a lot. Like the science alone will probably unless you understand it, it will probably confuse the crap out of you. Like this guy, I didn't know much of what they were talking about this. At least this for the science parts. What would work with the black holes, and if time, and it was just very interesting to listen to and see where they were going with this. It's actually kind of funny because this movie is actually based off of not only just his life, but apparently his book or his wife's book, A Brief History in Time. I believe it's his book. Yeah, Brief History in Time. And it actually, funny thing is that it actually takes you throughout the film. It actually takes you him writing it while in what he has, and it's actually if you don't know, he actually suffers from a rare early onset and slow progressing form of amyotrophic lateral cirrhosis, or ALS. It's a motor neuron disease, and which basically, as you can see now, it paralyzes him completely from pretty much the neck down. And it's actually a very, very interesting way to look into this movie from that point of view. You actually see him as a happy child going through life, going to school to actually learn and actually be happy about it, finding love, and go and it's funny because it's not only about his life. It actually you actually see as it progresses on. Uh, the wife's point of view and how she personally had to deal with well, not deal, but and had to live around Hawking's ALS disease, and how she was doing with it, and how it was progressing. And it's actually fun. It's not funny, but it actually, you see and why she was so distraught and so, she was doing everything to help him, and he couldn't take it anymore. He just didn't want her to live that burden anymore, and then it just completely set off. It was very, very interesting to see. I love the story. It flowed like naturally. It just worked out really well. The drama in it, the acting was just beyond superb. Felicity Jones and Eddie Redmayne were just spectacular. I'm telling you right now, if you don't know these guys, if you don't know these actors, I'm telling you, you actually do. If you know by a voice and by look, if you saw them, if Felicity Jones is actually, she was actually Felicity in Spider-Man. So I believe she's going to be coming back to play Black Cat, because that's her name in the series. So we're going to see what's going to happen there. I really can't wait to see if this gets nominated or if it even wins. I believe Eddie Redmayne is nominated for a Golden Globe by now, or possibly won it already. That beautiful Ginger is just spectacular. This film, the whole cast is just spectacular, and they actually kept the story alive. They kept it going. I will say, however, it is a little bit on the boring side because it's a lot of dialogue. It's a lot to take in. Again, especially the science parts. It's kind of interesting to watch. The science and drama aspects come together into one solid story that actually works for everybody. And it was actually easy to follow the story. It wasn't they didn't like branch off anything and then come back in the middle. It didn't start as one and then broke off into two and then come back. It was actually one solid story that stayed and was actually really good to watch. So I don't know if you can tell, but I definitely recommend this movie. Go check this out. It's actually really, really good. Again, I really hope it wins as well in the Oscars and in the Golden Globes or any other awards along the way from here. But you should also stay for our next adventure, especially you kiddies, because we are going to go into the Arctic and see some penguins of Madagascar. Yes, it's going to be fun. So stay tuned. Bye!